Hello, everybody, and welcome to Chair Yoga with Therese. So I invite you to come to your practice with an open mind, and we're going to let go of the day's worries as we go through our poses. So for today, you'll want to have a water towel, a clear space somewhere that it's safe, and on a chair, you want to make sure that there are no rollers, safety first. Also, no throw rugs as well. The other thing that you may want is a block and or a strap. If you don't have a strap, feel free to use a belt, or if you have a night coat, you can take the belt from that. So either or. So as we begin our practice, we can go ahead and we can take the block if you choose, and we'll put our feet on top. It's just a good way for us to get different circulation within the body and bringing the blood flow back and down. We'll start with a nice tall spine. We can roll the shoulders up, back, and down. And then turning the palms up so we can receive all that beautiful energy this morning. Closing the eyes or gazing at the knees. We'll just let that breath draw in and out of the body. Feel the breath as it comes into the belly, into the ribs, into the top of the chest. Exhaling out of the chest, out of the belly. And then feel the body just begin to relax and let go. As we focus on our breath, just letting go of the outside world. Letting go of conversations, letting go of people, place, and things. And as we let go, just maybe noticing if the body feels a little bit lighter. Allowing the awareness to come onto your chair. Notice how the body feels this morning. Notice what you hear. Next breath, chin draws down towards the chest, letting the head hang. Lifting chin towards your version of sky, opening and closing the mouth. Closing the mouth, the head will lift, and we'll just guide our head over towards the right, and then bringing the chin towards that right shoulder. Head will lift up and we'll unwind through center, and we'll take that head over to the other side, and then just letting that chin drop down towards that shoulder. Head will come back up and through center, hands down, and we'll circle through our wrists. Noticing how they feel today, if they feel tight or loose, achy. circling in the other direction. Pausing the hands, inhale up and exhale down. And again, up and down. Once more, up and down. We'll move into Robin next. The fingertips will go on top of the shoulders. Elbows will draw towards one another. Keep them together the best you can as you lift up, and then eventually they'll separate and go around. We can use our breath with this movement. Inhale halfway, exhale halfway. When the elbows come back towards one another, we'll go in the opposite direction. We'll bring them down, back, up, and forward. Down, back, up. When the elbows come towards one another, hands will come down, and we'll just circle those shoulders up, back, and down. Releasing shoulders down, right ear towards right shoulder. If you'd like, right hand on top and just a gentle pressing down, getting a good stretch on the left side. Maybe filling it in the neck, maybe filling it down across the shoulder. Then we can lift up and release that hand. We'll roll the shoulders up, back, and down. And then other side, we'll take left hand and we'll just guide the head over. And then we can release that hand and roll the shoulder up, back, and down. So cat and cow curls next. We're going to bring our hands on the thighs. We'll take a nice inhale. Exhale, round the back. Start at the base of the spine through the pelvis. And then we'll round up. We're going to open up our heart to sky. And round. And lift. Few more. Stacking up nice and tall. The hands, we're going to bring them forward and then open them out. And we're going to press back so we can feel that beautiful opening across the chest. And just imagine someone is gently taking hold of your palms and pressing back. Releasing the arms, we're going to bring right over left. You're going to give yourself a hug. Shoulders down and just a slight chin tuck. Head can lift. We're going to open out and again press back. Feel all that beautiful energy. Feel that openness. And then we'll cross left over right. And again, a nice big hug, shoulders down, and slight chin tuck. Head will lift. We'll open up the arms again. We'll bring them down to the side. And we'll take our block off if you happen to be on the block. And we'll put the block over on the right side. So we're going to do a lateral stretch next. The hand can either be on the chair if it's a little bit difficult to grab onto the block, if it's a little bit too far. Either way is fine. We're going to take the left arm up, either hold on to the chair or hold on to the block, and we're going to lean over. So imagine you're in between two panes of glass. Your left sits bone, you're going to gently press it down so you can get that beautiful stretch. If you are okay with this, we're going to turn towards the floor and we're going to add a little bit of an oblique stretch. If this doesn't work for you, just feel free to stack up the shoulders one on top of one another. We can turn forward and then we'll take that block with us and we'll bring it to the other side. Now on here, again, you can either hold on to the chair or the block, and we're going to lift and reach over to the other side. Now we're not going to let that arm hang down. It's going to actually be up and over the head. So we're not going to let it rest there. If you'd like, you can twist your body towards the floor. And then we'll turn facing the camera. And then we'll lift back up, bringing that block with you for a seated mountain. Now, in our seated mountain, tailbone is pointing down to the floor. I'm grounded down through all the big toe, little toe, heel. My shoulders are relaxed. But if I had a shoulder problem and this really hurt, I'm just going to leave that arm down. If it's not working for both sides, you can leave those arms down. Feel open heart. Feel the ribs gently drawn in. Breath is smooth. Notice where your biceps are. Are they by your ears or maybe in front of your ears? And as we hold here, we're going to keep the arms by the ears and we're going to come into awkward chair. So our heart comes forward. We're with a straight back as much as possible. We'll hold for 3, 2, and 1. Lifting up, we'll release the block and we'll put it underneath our chair. We're going to work on a spinal twist next. So we're still away from the back of the chair. Arms will come out to the side. And the movement is we twist to the right, left hand on the outside of the knee, lift up, twist, and gaze over your right hand. You have a nice little spiral in the spine. Breath is smooth. Now, if you'd like to go deeper, we can turn that right hand up and then lift and reach that arm over your right ear. And then we're going to see if we can reach over towards that left knee. So remember, keyword is towards, not to. You want to be able to breathe smoothly wherever you are. And then we'll lift up. We can turn that right palm down, left arm up, unwind through center. take it to the other side. So a nice gentle twist, right hand on the outside of that left knee, chest up, twisted, and we're going to gaze over that left arm. Breathe deep. Now, if it's for you to go further, turn the palm up and then lift and reach over. Maybe just be inquisitive to see how this side might be different than the other side. No right or wrong, it just is. And we'll lift up. Palm will turn down. Right arm up. Unwind through center. Bring it down and roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Now, we're going to get our block and our strap. So the one thing I didn't mention is if you don't have a block at home, you can use a pillow. You can also use like a hardback book. You don't want a book that's too heavy. Now we're going to stretch out a little bit from the back of our legs. So you can scooch all the way back so that your back actually touches the back of the chair. Our block, we'll put it underneath the feet. I like to recommend that you do it long ways. So then that way the whole length of your foot is going to hold on to the block. Our strap will go underneath, and then each hand is going to hold a strap, and they're just going to lift those legs up. Now, notice if you're like this, relax your shoulders. The only real tension right now might be in your legs and your hands. So we're going to roll shoulders up, back, and down. Let your elbows drop down. And then your hands are gently going to draw the legs so they're up. Toes are pointing towards the sky. And just sort of notice where you feel the stretch. If you feel it in the calves, if you might feel it in the hamstrings. And then all we're going to do is just come away from the back of the chair. So hopefully it's like a nice L position, or trying to be an L position with the legs up. We're still going to hold the legs up, and then now with a straight back, we're going to hinge forward. So imagine your heart is going towards your toes. So I'm not looking down, I'm looking past the toes. Shoulders are relaxed. Feel the engagement in the abs. And then we'll round, bringing the forehead towards the knees. And then we'll stack up nice and tall. We'll bend the knees. We'll take the block out. We'll put it underneath our chair and scooch forward so we can work on our shoulders. You may or may not need the strap. If you do have a strap, mine is really long, so I fold it in half. So from here, my right hand, I'm going to bring that strap behind my back, not behind my chair, behind the back. So I'm going to pat myself on the back, and my left hand is going to come around and take hold of the strap behind me. Now I'll sit up nice and tall, and at this point, your bottom hand, you can either walk it up the strap so that it'll give you a little bit more tension. If you're having trouble breathing, bring the hand down a little bit, but we're just not looking for any slack in the strap. You're going to find that just right spot. We call it the edge. Chin is parallel to the floor. Now, if this just doesn't work for you at all, you can use the other hand, and instead of using the strap, you can bring it across. If you have shoulder issues, you can just do the stretch here. So those are some options for you. And if it just still doesn't feel good, don't do it. You have that choice. It's your practice. We'll take a nice inhale here. Exhale, twist towards the right. Inhale through center. We'll twist towards the left. Inhale through center. Release the bottom hand. Release the top arm and roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Same thing on the other side. So if you have your strap, left hand this time, and we'll bring it behind. Pat yourself on the back, and the other hand will come back. Sometimes one of the things that I'll see people lifting up and bringing it down. You want to have your chin parallel to the floor, right? So you want to be bringing chin into chest so that you can really touch the fingers together. So that's not the point. The point is just to find a good stretch in the shoulders. Just breathe, notice differences, make any micro movements that's necessary. Any thoughts that come inside, just acknowledge them and let them go. You can pick them up when we're done. On the next breath, we'll take a nice inhale. Exhale, we'll twist over towards the right. Inhale through center, and then we'll twist over towards the left. Inhale through center. We can release the bottom hand and then the top. We can fold up our strap. We're going to come into a crescent pose. We'll start with a stretch first. So we're going to stretch out a little bit through the entire front side of the body. So we'll scooch over, and your left foot is firmly on the floor. Your right buttocks is slightly off, and you're going to take that. The left hand can be here for support. You're going to go ahead and see if you can drop that knee down towards the floor. Some people may, from flexibility, may only be here. Some people are able to get that knee pointing down. Some people can even bring that knee back beyond the hip. So no forcing, just see where the body is now. I'm going to start with toenail polish down. So that means I'm pointing my toes to the back wall. My shoulders are on top of the hips. And if this is enough of a stretch for me, I'm going to hang out here. Maybe slide the foot back a little further. Should not be feeling any pressure in the knee. Make an adjustment, bring it in if you do. And then the right arm, we're going to lift that arm up. And then I'll lift my chest up towards the sky and breathe. So there's a real good stretch going on in the shoulder and the waist and the hip flexor, maybe even the front side, the shin, the ankle. Now we'll lift up and we'll lean in towards the chair. Now, while I lean into the chair, that knee is still going to point down. Tendency is to open it up out to the side, especially if you're tight here. So we're just going to kind of let it relax. We're not going to let the arm hang. We want to be active in the arm. And then lift up. We'll bring the arm down, holding onto the chair, lean in, bend the elbow, and that foot will meet the other foot. Let's go to the other side. So right foot firmly on the floor, lean in, knee, your version of pointing to the floor, and we're pointing the toes to the back wall. We can straighten that right arm. You can slide that leg back a little bit if that's for you. Left arm can lift up and then maybe lean back. So fairly normal in yoga practice that we make micro movements so we can find that just right spot. So feel free to explore in your practice. And then we can lift up and maybe lean in. And then just let that left knee relax. Sometimes I have to tell that knee to relax so I could get the stretch in the waist. And then we'll come on up. We'll bend the elbow, bring that foot in. We're going to come near the center of the chair. And we're going to come into a little bit more willfulness of that pose. So all of these are options. You can try what works for you. So we're going to do that crescent pose. We're going to come back almost the same position. We're still going to let the buttocks slightly hang off the chair. Left foot is ground down. Lean in. We're going to let that knee drop down. But this time the toes are tucked under. So if you see how the toes are tucked under. So you're going to have the toes back behind your knee, and you can scooch them back as far as you'd like. But we're still going to keep shoulders on top of hips. Now, we're going to be pressing down through that front foot and the back set of toes. So you can feel engagement in the legs. Right arm up. If it's for you, you can add the left. Heart is open. If you don't feel comfortable, keep that hand down. If arms up doesn't work for you, it's okay to keep them down. Now, if we're still pushing down through the front foot and the back toes, if you want to go a little more, keep pushing, engage, and then we're going to lift off the chair just enough to get a couple pieces of paper underneath that chair. Right? And if you try it and it's not for you, don't do it. And then if you're up, we'll float down, release the arms, lean in. If needed, you can use that hand to bring that leg in. Whew. All right, other side. So we'll scooch over. Firm foundation, right leg. Toenail polish up with that left toes. We can press down through that front foot, back toes. One arm up. Maybe add the other. And then if you'd like to lift, you can lift up out of the chair. If not, you just engage the lower body. Press down through the foot. Press down through those toes. Feel the glutes engaged. Feel the quadriceps engaged. Feel the hamstrings engaged. Openness in the heart. Breath smooth. And then if you're up, we'll float down, release the arms, lean in, and we're going to bring that leg in, scooch towards the front of the chair, and we'll grab a drink of water. So while you're having water, you can just check in with yourself and just see how your body's doing. Notice if you're being kind to your body. Notice how your breath is. Notice if you feel as if your body's beginning to let go of some of the tightness, or if you're feeling a little bit of strength in different parts. And then if you feel okay with standing, we're going to come over to the right side of the chair. The chair is always here in case you need it. And if you don't need it, there's no need to hold on to the chair. We're going to start in our Tadasana. So Tadasana is our mountain pose. All 10 toes point forward, and we can lift the toes up, and we're going to balance on the ball of the big toe, little toe, heel. So it's like a little triangle, those 3 points. And then after you balance from right to left, from front to back, we'll just slowly lower the toes down. Good foundation, and then turning palms open, we can roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Find a spot to gaze at. We call that our drishti point. So it allows a focal point so that we make that spot clear of what we're looking at, and it's almost as if everything else around it kind of gets fuzzy. Engaging all the muscles. A majestic mountain. Breath smooth. Second variation of mountain, arms up, shoulders down, fingers closed. And then we'll gently bring the rib cage, lower rib cage, so it points down towards the pelvis. That'll turn on our abdominals a little bit. Heart is open. Transitioning into a balance pose, crane. Arms come out to the side and just a little bend in the elbow. We'll shift weight to that left foot, big toe towards the floor. And maybe if it's for you, lifting that knee up and just focusing on that drishti point. Steady body, steady breath, steady awareness. We'll float it all the way down and shake it out. And just notice how you were. Was it windy or was it a nice calm day? No right or wrong, it just is. Just be aware of how the body transitions from day in and day out. We'll start in that second variation of mountain. So all 10 toes pointing forward. Your second and third toe will intersect the eyes of the hip bone. So not from the outside, from eyes of the hip bone. Arms will come up, shoulders down, fingers close. And breathe, focus. Is this mountain any different than the other side? Next breath, moving into crane, arms will come out to the side, just a little bend in the elbow, and we'll bring that left big toe. So some days just the heel off the floor and the toe on the floor might be enough for your balance. Maybe bringing up. Smooth breath, steady breath. And then we'll float all the way down, shaking the legs out. We'll make our way over to the right side once again. And this time, we'll come into our tree pose. So our right leg We're going to open it up out to the side, and we can rest the heel on the ankle, the calf, or the inner thigh, but never on the knee joint. So once you find your spot, you can bring one or both hands to heart center, and then maybe grow your tree. Maybe open the branches. And just notice where in the world your tree is. Pressing down through that standing foot. Notice how it supports the rest of the body. Heart open, shoulders down, breath smooth. Hands will float back to heart center. Release that right leg and shake it out. We'll come over to the other side. So let's see where our tree is here. Knee comes out, foot on the heel or on the ankle, the calf, or the inner thigh. Press down through that standing leg. And then where is your tree on this side? Steady body, steady breath, steady balance. Hands can float back to heart center. And we'll release that leg and shake it out. So today, since we did seated crescent pose, we're also going to do standing crescent pose. So you can see the difference between doing this position from a seated position versus a standing position. So I'm going to be to the right side of the chair, and if needed, I can have my hand on the chair. My right leg is going to go back. It's going to go so far back, my back heel is off of the floor. Now, once I have that heel back, I'm going to bend this front knee, but I'm going to do my best to not let it go past the ankle. My shoulders are on top of my hips, and then I can bring up my right arm. And then if I feel comfortable, I'll bring up my left, but know the chair is always there in case you need it. That front foot, we're pressing down through the ball of the big toe, little toe, heel. I want you to feel the engagement in your glutes, in your quadricep, maybe feeling a stretch here in the hip flexors. Breathe, steady breath, smooth breath. Two more big, beautiful breaths. Now to come out of this pose, you can bring your hands to heart. I'm going to put my hand on the chair on this side. I'm going to bend my back knee, push through the toes, back foot meets front foot, and hands to heart center. Let's do that on the other side. This time my left leg will go back. And so far back, back heel is off the floor, shoulders on top of hips. Press down through the front foot, and you can have the left arm, maybe the right. Remember, nothing says that, you can have that hand there. One side, you might be a little bit more unstable than the other. Heart is open, breath is smooth. Maybe noticing if you can bend that front knee a little bit more so that you get that leg a little bit lower. Smooth breath. 2 more big, beautiful breaths here. Now to come out of it, this time I'm going to put both hands to heart center, or you can have one here. Bend the back knee, push through the toes, back foot meets front foot, hands to heart. Nice. Let's come behind our chair. We'll have our hands shoulder width apart. We'll take a giant step back, and I'll turn slightly to the side so you can see. Giant step back with both feet. I'm going to shift my hips back and then let the chest drop down towards the floor. Now, if I have shoulder issues, I'm just going to let that arm dangle. I'm going to reach my hips back to where the ceiling meets the wall. And just feel that stretch in the arms, in the hips, in the back of the legs. Three more big, beautiful breaths in and out. Knees will bend. We'll walk in towards our chair, stack up nice and tall. And our hands, put them in our back hip pocket, and we'll gently press the pelvis forward, heart up to the sky. Maybe let the head drop back if that is for you. For some people, that's just not comfortable and it hurts. So it's just okay just to lift that chest up. Now the elbows, imagine you're holding a basketball between the elbows. That'll open up just a little bit more. Next breath, we can lift up, release the hands, shake out those hands, make our way back into the chair. Another drink of water if you'd like. And we'll come forward in the chair and we're going to lean back. We're going to go ahead and let our back rest against the back of the chair, and we'll bring that right knee in. My left hand will hold on to the side of the chair. My right hand is going to hold on to the knee. And I'm going to use my hand on the knee just to circle around inside that hip joint. So we can inhale halfway, we can exhale halfway. We'll circle in the other direction. And then we'll pause it through center. We're going to give it a little hug. If this hurts the knee on top, you can hold behind. I'm going to bring it in, and then I'm going to take that left leg out, flex that foot towards me as I give this leg a little hug in. So as we bring the right knee into the chest, it's a nice little massage for the ascending colon. Now we'll go ahead and put that foot down. We'll bring that other knee in, hold on. You can use the right hand on the chair, and just go ahead and we're going to circle this leg around. We can reverse direction. When that knee comes in, find where you want to hold on to it, gently draw it in, and then we'll lift the toes up on that right leg and just giving it a nice little hug. Then we can put that foot on the floor. We'll bring the left foot to meet it. We're going to come into a big full body stretch if you're comfortable with it. The feet are going to be on the floor. You can slide them forward. The arms will come up and back. So if you feel uncomfortable, that you think you might slide out of the chair, just bend the knees so the feet are on the floor and then just reach the body. Otherwise, you can stretch out nice and long. You can reach arms away from legs, maybe circle through the wrists. And then hands can release onto the sides of the chair for support so that we can come up and we'll scooch back and we'll get ready for Savasana. So if you'd like another drink of water before we go into Savasana, Savasana is our final pose. It's actually the pose that incorporates all the movement through our practice. And what's nice about it, in Savasana, we do absolutely nothing. So that might be good for you. That might be kind of scary for you. But however you want to get comfortable. So we're sitting back in the chair. If you need to put on a jacket or a little blankie or whatever will feel comfortable, we can lean against the back of the chair. And I'm just going to bring the chin to chest to start out with and just kind of let that head hang for a moment. Then roll right ear towards right shoulder. And chin to chest. And we'll roll over to the other side. And chin to chest. Stack up nice and tall. And we'll turn the palms up to receive all that beautiful energy the universe has to give us. Shoulders can relax up, back, and down. And then closing the eyes. If you're not comfortable gazing at the knees. And just focus on the breath. Feel that breath as it comes into the belly, into the ribs, into the top of the chest. Exhaling out of the chest, out of the ribs, out of the belly. With each exhalation, letting go of any remaining tension in the feet, the legs. Allow the buttocks to just let go onto the seat of the chair. Letting go in the torso, the back, the chest, the arms. Release the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Soften through the jaw, the cheekbones, the forehead, the ears. And your reading for today. In a world when you can choose to be anything, choose to be kind. Feel the breath as it draws in and out of the body. Maybe awakening inside through wiggling the fingers or toes. And just scanning the body to see what might be different or the same from when you walked into your practice today. Thanking the body for all that it's done and all that it will continue to do. We'll close our practice with 3 rounds of Om, taking an inhalation to prepare. Om. 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. Bring the hands together, thumbs to heart, and bowing our head to honor the light and love within us, and to honor that same light and love that connects each and every one of us. Namaste. So thank you so much for joining me with my practice today and your practice today, and hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.